Hey, what's up guys, how you all doing? I'm Paul the Tech Giant and welcome back to the channel, where today I'm going to be unboxing and testing out this 65-inch mini LED Samsung QN90F. Now I'm very much looking forward to testing out this TV because it's the first of any manufacturer's 2025 lineup that I've been fortunate enough to test out on the channel. But along with this TV, I've also been sent out a brand new 2025 matching Samsung soundbar and the much anticipated LG G5 OLED, and those will be coming in future videos, but all of those were sent over to me by UK electrical retailer Peter Tyson. Now if you were to purchase this Samsung QN90F from Peter Tyson, you're going to be safe in the knowledge knowing that you're going to get free delivery, free 5-year warranty, and they have finance options available. And of course, to back all that up, they've got great customer service, and this is reflected by their amazing score on Trustpilot. So if you are in the market for a new TV or maybe a soundbar, I'd really appreciate it if you help support the channel by making your next TV or soundbar purchase from Peter Tyson. Right, let's crack on then, and first off we're going to take a look around the outside of the box, and I've got to say it is proper plain and boring looking. Gone are the days when the TVs come in boxes that are full of colour, shouted about all its features. Now they look dull as dishwater. But anyway, let's take a look. So this is the Samsung Neo QLED QN90F, and it is 65 inches. Now if we move to the centre of the box, we can see the energy rating stickers there, and both come in at an F. Next up, let's take some measurements of the box itself, which is always handy if you want to actually store the box somewhere, or maybe transport it in a car. So first up, we will start with the longest measurement, and that comes in at just over 161 centimetres. Next we have the height, and that comes in at 93.5 centimetres. And finally we come to the depth, and that comes in at 18.5 centimetres. Right, now it's time to get this box open, and we've got a couple of straps here but no actual tape, which makes a change. So let's cut these off and open her up. Right, and then if we lift this off, we can get a first look at the TV itself. Looks very nice, loving that gunmetal finish. Now that we got the TV out of the box, let's take a look around the back of it. First, going in closer for a look at the design. So as we can see, we've got these horizontal lines which are playing havoc on my camera, and they are textured, as you can probably hear, and I wouldn't recommend rubbing your fingers down them because they make an awful noise. Now moving across to the middle, and we have holes there for any wall mounting brackets, and I've already gone ahead and measured the distance between the holes. So going from left to right, it is 40 centimetres, and going from top to bottom, it is 30 centimetres. Moving on down from those, and we come to our power connection for a figure of 8 cable, and as you can see, the power cable is removable, so that is great news. Now moving just down from that, and we have these horizontal channels, and these are very handy because it allows you to channel your cables and give it a nice clean look around the back. Now just going down from that, and we have the area where we will mount our tabletop stand. Now moving to the bottom of the TV, to the left hand side or the right hand side if you're looking at the TV straight on, and we have this little button. Now this allows you to control some basic functions of the TV, so it's handy if you lose your remote control. And finally we come to all the connections. So what do we have? Well, we have a connection there for a regular TV aerial and satellite. Moving up from them, and we have a connection for a LAN cable. Moving up from that, and on the right hand side we have a common interface, and then we come to our 4 HDMIs. As you can see, number 3 is marked up as eARC, and all 4 are HDMI 2.1 and good for up to 4K 165 Hz. So great for you gamers out there. Now just moving up from them again, and we have an optical digital connection, and then finally 2 USBs. The Let's now move on and take a look at all the supplied accessories that come with this TV. So first starting off then, and we got a bit of paperwork here, looks like a quick start guide. And then we've got another simple user guide. Below that, we've got some instructions there for the remote controls and some advertising for Samsung soundbars. Moving on from that, and we come to our first part of the pedestal stand. Again, we've got that sort of line texture, same as it's on the back of the TV, so it's nice that that matches up there. We have a couple of packets of screws attached. And if we set that off to one side, we come to the second part of the stand, which is the actual base. Now this is nice and solid. That's a matte black going on there. And as you can see, it is quite short and dumpy. And on the bottom, we do have these little pads. So if you do put it down on a unit, it's going to offer some protection from scratching it. Next up, and we have this little common interface connection which will go into the back of the TV. Next we come to our power cable, and if I just break that off, you can see that it is a moulded 3-pin plug. I'm in the UK, so that's why we get that one. And there's the figure of 8 end just there. And if I get out my trusty tape measure, we can see that the cable comes in at approximately 151 centimeters. Getting down to the last few things, and we next have some AAA batteries, and those are going to be for this remote control. So let's open up this packet, and I'm sure you've seen this remote control plenty of times before. Nice simple basic remote control there. Got some shortcuts for Netflix, Prime Video, Samsung TV Plus and YouTube. I like the fact that they've got a YouTube one on there. I'm a big fan, as you probably know. Just flipping that over, and got the battery compartment just there for those AAA batteries. Then we come to the final piece, and what is it? Well, it is a second remote control. I think it's great that we get 2 remote controls here in the UK. I believe other parts of the world don't always get a second remote, but yeah, I like this. Very small indeed. If I just grab that other remote, you can see how small it is in comparison. I mean, that's a small remote. This is even smaller again. Nice and lightweight. It is plastic, but very minimalistic. So we've got a little scroll wheel type thing there, or directional buttons, little enter button there in the middle as well. Some shortcuts: Netflix, Samsung TV Plus, Prime Video and YouTube again. But the party piece about this remote control is it doesn't require batteries. Why not? Well, if we flip it over, it is solar powered. So yeah, just whack this in the window, get a bit of sun on it, and it's good to go. But hey, what about if there isn't enough sun? Well, don't worry. Just under this little pull tab, which I've now pulled out, we do have a connection for a USB-C charger. Now that we got the TV up on the wall, it's time to do that bit that I absolutely love, and I'm sure you do too, and that is the screen protector peel. Now we've got a couple going on here. We've got one on the main screen itself, and we've got some bits going around the edges. So we'll first start off with the edges. Ooh, I do love a good peel. There we go, along the top as well. And, oh, bit snapped off there. Got a bit too overexcited there with it snapping, rushing the job. Got to take your time with these things. Right, that's that done. And now let's start with the big boy. Ooh, yeah. That's nice. So I can dress in a sexy woman. And just when I thought the fun was over, I found one more little dinky one here on the Samsung logo. Done. Right, so the TV is now all ready to go. I've already gone ahead and plugged it into the mains power supply. So all that's left to do is turn it on for the very first time.
Scan the a QR code. If you have a remote control, select the right button to start the setup.
So as you probably just heard, we do have two options here to set the TV up. We can scan the QR code or use the remote control. I'm going to go ahead and set it up using the remote control, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Rightio, so that's all the setup process complete now, and the next thing that I want to do is check out the design of the TV. Now what's really standing out to me about it is the matte finish on the screen itself. Now if I just stand here and wave a minute, can you see me? No, you can't. Now on most TVs, if you wave like that, you see yourself waving back. That is mental. Now as you can see, I've got some big windows here, quite a lot of daylight coming through. And if we come round, whilst we are seeing light on the screen, it is far from being a mirror like you get on some other TVs. So that matte finish is doing an amazing job. So if you're after a TV and you suffer with a lot of reflections in your room, then this could be the TV for you. Let's now move around to the side, and we can see we have this lovely brushed gunmetal grey effect going on here. I think that's very nice indeed. Put my finger up there as some sort of reference. And yeah, it's a fairly slim TV. Now moving around to the back, it is curved ever so slightly, but overall it is a very flat design. Now moving back round to the front, and as you can see, we've got some very thin bezels going on indeed. Now if we move down to the bottom, these do get slightly thicker, but still very thin overall. But if we move along to the right hand side, we do have this little Samsung logo just sticking down there. Whilst it is small, I don't like its location. It just looks odd being set off to one side. I prefer to see it in the centre of the TV. But overall, I think it's a very nice design indeed. Right, let's now move on and take a look at some of the menus. And this TV is running the Tizen operating system. Not a massive fan of it myself, but at the end of the day, it's each to their own. So starting off at the top then, and if we go all the way to the right, we have apps. So if you want to download some more apps because the pre-installed ones aren't for you, then there are a whole range of other apps to choose from in here. Going back up to the top and across to live, and as you'd expect, it is live TV recommendations there, and then back over to for you. Now going down from this, and we have now playing and popular searches. Now moving just down below that, and we come to our pre-installed apps. Now I'm in the UK, so they may differ depending on where you are in the world, but for me, I get SmartThings, Samsung TV Plus, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, ITVX, YouTube, Apple TV, Now, Rakuten, 4, Bixby, the internet, and 5. And at the end, we have Edit List. Now, if you are in the UK like me, there is one app missing, and that is BBC iPlayer. Yes, that is one of the main UK catch-up TV services. That is an utter nightmare. What are they thinking? Why would you not include that in the pre-installed apps? So you say to yourself, don't worry, I'll just go to the App Store and download it. But let's go on to Spotify. Click on that. No, you've got to sign up or sign into a Samsung account. That again is well out of order if you ask me. But again, let's go down to the pre-installed apps. I don't know, let's go on ITVX. Click on that. Oh no, you've either got to sign in or sign up just to use one of the pre-installed apps. They are really pulling your pants down on this. Like I said, I think that is bang out of order. Let me know in the comments section what you think. Now getting back to the main homepage again, and if we go down from the pre-installed apps, we have some genres going on here and more recommendations going on, new and trending, family favourites, top searches, so on and so forth. And as you can see, there is quite a bit of it. A little bit too much of it, if I'm being honest. Now going back up to the top and over to the left hand side, and we've got some shortcuts here. So we've got things like Samsung account, search, art, daily plus, game mode and home. And if we just go to say art, nope, you've got to sign in again, out of order. Again, let's go to say search. Nope, you've got to sign in again. Literally, you cannot do anything with this TV unless you sign up or sign in to a Samsung account. Now just below home and we come to connected devices, settings and privacy choices. Let's go into settings. So I like this. We've got some quick settings here. So if we scroll over, we've got the all settings, which we're going to in a second. Then we've got sound mode, brightness, sound output, picture mode, AI mode, scroll over, and we've got more offerings available, which is nice that you don't have to go right deep into the settings to go into some of those ones that you may want to access just quick. But let's quickly just jump into those all settings. So these are broken up now into different categories. So we've got picture, sound, connections, advanced features, general and privacy, and support. So let's go up to picture and take a quick look in here. So we've got our picture modes, which are dynamic, standard, eco, movie, and filmmaker mode. And then we got things like eye comfort mode, smart calibration, and your expert settings, which contain all the things that you're going to want to fiddle around with, like your brightness, contrast, sharpness, color, tint, so on and so forth. Back on our picture, then we come down to sound. We've got our sound output there, sound mode, so on and so forth. Back in that again, then we've got our connections, self-explanatory really, that's our network connection and Bluetooth. Then our advanced features, you've got things like live translate, AI mode settings there, voice settings. And then come out of that, then we've got our general and privacy, accessibility settings in here can be found, voice guide settings, audio description settings, again plenty more in there to choose from. Back out of that again, terms and privacy, power and energy saving, parental settings, broadcasting, external device manager, so lots in there. And then finally support. Okie dokie, time to test out the picture on this TV then. And currently I'm playing a piece of 4K HDR material. And first impressions are, wow, this TV is super bright and, as you can probably tell, super colourful. Now if we just move around to the side a bit, we can see that that matte display is doing a really good job of handling the reflections from my big bright windows. Now, I'm going to be totally honest, as I always am, it does wash out a bit when you move round and the black levels are raised somewhat. But when you come round to more straight on, yeah, that image is really, really good. And just check out those black levels. I am suitably impressed. Now, this is just in the standard picture mode. So if we change that up to the big, bright dynamic, it just gets even brighter and even more colourful. Again, this is going to be hard to get across on camera because in person it's always going to be better. But yeah, look at it. That is a sweet, sweet image. Now, like I said, again, you do get a little bit of blooming around some bright areas on a black background when you move around like this. But that's to be expected at the end of the day. It's mini LED, not OLED. But if you want a bright TV that can handle reflections because you've got a room that does suffer with reflections, now this could be the TV for you. Moving on to some SDR footage now then, that's standard dynamic range. And again, I've got to say it, image is looking really, really good. The processing on this TV, I think, really shines. Now, the other thing that seems to shine with this TV that I'm noticing is the brightness in SDR mode. And other TVs, well, they seem to be all about the HDR, and then SDR, it seems to be lacking in the brightness department. But this TV, again, I think it does a very good job. Now, because the last piece of material I showed you was quite dark, I've played this one and I am noticing something that's maybe not so great, and that is, if you notice around the edges, it is a little bit dark in the corners, which isn't ideal. It's not, I would say, a deal breaker, but it's something worth pointing out. Now, once again, I'm in just the standard picture mode at the moment, and I'm going to now change it up to the dynamic. And whew, once again, wow, that has gone really, really bright. I can't believe this is just standard dynamic range. Look at it. Colours are wicked, fair play. And like I say, brightness levels, if you are looking for a TV to go in a bright room, honestly, this is one to shortlist, that's for sure. Let's move around a little bit again. Yeah, the reds are looking amazing there. Again, on camera, when I'm looking through the lens here, it's, yeah, a little bit more washed out than it is in person. Let's move around to the other side again. Look at how it's handling those reflections. Look at that. That is really good, isn't it? Again, as I said before, it does wash out a bit, but you know, it's not like the image is being completely overrun by the reflections from those big windows. On to the final piece of footage now then, and this is my very own 4K HDR material. And once again, wow, just check that bus out. That looks proper cherry red. Again, on camera, might not be coming across so well, but trust me, in person, that looks absolutely stunning. So we're just in the standard picture mode. Honestly, the processing on this TV, I think, is just amazing. It looks so clear. And this was all just shot on a mobile phone. So, you know, that just goes to show how well the TV is doing. So a bit of an inside shot here, and again, tricky lighting, but it does look good. The black levels where we can see the blacks are looking nice and dark. Let's move around a little bit around to the side. And the image is starting to darken up a little bit and lose a bit of colour, as we can see. But going around straight on again, look at that light, really nice and bright there. Yeah, straight on, it is proper sweet looking. Again, this just goes to show, again, the processing. Look how crisp and clear everything looks in this shot. Look at that, it's almost like you are actually there. Okie dokie, let's finally test out the sound on this TV then. Now I've currently got the sound level set to 50, which is halfway. So let's see what this thing is capable of. Okay, beats come in. Not too bad on the low notes, could be better. Not as punchy as I would have liked to have heard. Let's turn it up a little bit more. Let's go all the way up to 100. Yeah, so it is lacking a bit of bass there, but I wouldn't say it's really an offensive sound. Just could do with being a bit more rounded. But like I said earlier on in the video, I will be testing out a matching soundbar to go with this TV, and hopefully that should really improve the overall sound quality. And there you have it then, guys. Now don't forget, like I said earlier, I will be unboxing a matching soundbar for this TV, and I'll also be unboxing and testing out the brand new for 2025 LG G5 OLED. And if you want to see those videos, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you have enjoyed today's video, then please do us a favour and give me a big fat thumbs up. So thanks very much for joining me today, and hopefully I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Bye for now.